It's your friendly neighborhood armor major, retired-ish. I'm still on terminal leave. Hey, I did a trailer on a new series that I'm putting together to inform those of you who are retiring, who are ETSing, and who are refratting out the U.S. Army. And so I'm giving tips and tricks that I learned throughout this journey, the last 2 years to get to this point, to pass along stuff that I've learned, that I figured out along the way, talking to a lot of veterans and those of you who are ahead of me. So listen up. Oh, congratulations. You just dropped your retirement, your ETS, or refrat packet. Metaphorically, of course. You may have a physical copy that you're going to keep with you in your backpack, but you're going to have to upload everything digitally on the new system, relatively new, called IPSA. And that's what every retirement, ETS, or refrat packet go through for approval process. What's cool, on a side note about IPSA, is you can actually track your packet, where it's going and who's it with at the time. So it gives you a level of assurance that it's going through and it's getting seen by the right people. Now I want to talk about your last day in the Army and how that works and how I figured that out. Well, for you retirees who served over 20 years, your last day in the Army will be the end of the month. It doesn't matter if it's the 29th, if it's the 30th, or it's the 31st of that month, which is the last day. That will be the last day in your Army that the Army is determined. And that's to help align with the pay period. As after the 30th, per se, 30th November, December, you won't have a paycheck in terms of retirement paycheck. You'll have to wait to the 1st of January to earn your retirement paycheck. And that's for situational awareness. For those of you who are refrat, which is released from active duty for officers who finished their obligation time, as well as those who are enlisted who ETS out, expiration of term of service, finishing up your time in your contract, you get to, after your time, you get to kind of choose your day within the month of when you're getting out. It's not as inclined for you as it is for retirees who must retire at the end of the month to help align for the retirement paycheck. So understand that happens. All right, now, after you determine what your last day in the Army is going to be, and you have dropped your retirement packet here, I'm telling you, don't make this mistake and go toward the end. The thing you need to do is go to finance. Go down to your finance office. You don't even have to make an appointment, at least here at Fort Moore. You can go up there, do a walk into your finance office, sit down with them, and determine how much terminal leave you will have accumulated at that time. Now you're going to tell yourself, wait a minute here. I got my LES. It tells me everything right here. Brothers and sisters who are getting out or retiring, I'm going to tell you this much. Yeah, I have a short story about that later on that I will not be putting on this episode. But you're going to have what's called protective special leave accrued, and also you're going to have use or lose, and then you're going to have some other stuff on there. Do not solely depend on your LES to determine your terminal leave days that you're going to have. Go to finance. Up in finance, they have a calculator per se. And what they're going to do is sit down with you, ask you what your last day in the Army is going to be. Then they're going to ask you, are you looking to take leave? Say, for example, you're 24 months out and you do want to take some leave for the summer break, or you want to take some leave for the winter break that year, and maybe the following year, well, however your timeline goes. You need to come to finance in your mind of what leave you're going to use. And then that can help you calculate what leave you're going to have toward the end, so then you can then plan accordingly. Boom! And now you finish with finance, and they give you a printout. Now you know how much terminal leave you'll have available to you for your retirement, your ETS, or refrat date that you can then backwards plan from. And it's very important to backwards plan from that, because from that point, you may be doing clearing, and prior to that, you may be doing a CSP. So all that comes into play with regards to your terminal leave. Now, you may use all of it and say, hey, look, I'm not going to take leave. I'm going to take passes and whatnot. I want to make sure I have all these days available to me. And then I'm going to plan and put my leave packet and submit it to company and battalion for approval for 60 plus days. let me tell you something though. Be very, very careful about that. You might want to give yourself some leeway. You never know when a family event may occur that may cut into the terminal leave time. I would tell you, give yourself 7 to 14 days flexibility and not just use all your leave. Now, that's just my opinion. And here's how I am saying this is, unfortunately, as many of you know, my father passed away early this year. And obviously that was unexpected. I came down in emergency leave to Arizona, and luckily I was by his side toward the end when he was passing. During that time, I took 14 days emergency leave. And luckily, though, I built that in already when I turned in my terminal leave packet and got approved from company and battalion. And so those 14 days that I left on the table there that could be just turned into a sellback period, turned into an opportunity for me to go down there and then come back and not worry about resubmitting and readjusting my retirement plans based upon what just happened. So I would tell you that even though you have X amount of days, leave some flexibility within there just in case an emergency leave period takes place and you have to depart. Now for me, I'm glad I had 14 days of flexibility, and it was exactly 14 days to take care of things down there. But just be situationally aware of using your days and how you plan forward. Now, you got that? Now, you know how much terminal leave you'll have available, how much terminal leave you're going to use, how much terminal leave you may sell back, and also build in flexibility days of leave that may be used for emergency purposes, like I just told you in my story. And that will help you develop your plan, your retirement plan, as you can see here. And for me, the yellow is all my built up leave dates that I plan to use. Going into permissive TDY in orange, and it's only for retirees who get permissive TDY. And then in blue, you could see the clearing post period. You really get 2 weeks to clear post, but it only takes you a couple of days if you do it right. And then you can then backwards plan from your CSP to any other things you're doing with regards to medical appointments and SFL tab and whatnot. So, in summary, for this episode 1 of what you should do first. You dropped your retirement, REFRAD, or ETS packet into IPSA. You know what the last day in the Army is going to be for you. You know what leave you want to take, either be in holiday block leave, etc. Then you go to finance. Go to finance and sit down with them so you can understand what you're looking at, and so you can backwards plan when they tell you how much terminal leave you'll have available to you. And then for those of you who are in the retirement process, you can then add in your permissive TDY to that. Don't just solely rely upon your LES. Go to the experts early. And then not only that though, but after you go to them, make sure when you're within the 12 to 8 month window, you go back to finance to verify your leave, even though you already dropped your leave paperwork and it's been approved. Because you can make any adjustments. If anything crazy comes down or a mistake takes place in finance, you can make quick adjustments. So you should go to finance twice. Immediately after you drop your retirement packet, so you can start backwards planning with your tools available to you. And number 2, go within 8 to 12 month period again to sit down with them to verify that you have those terminal leave dates. If you haven't dropped your terminal leave packet, and if you already have, and you go back in there and they're off for some reason by a day or 2 or whatnot, then you can then resubmit your terminal leave and your permissive TDY easily. So I hope this helped. Please spread the news about the first steps you need to do upon getting out the military or retiring out. So this is your friendly neighborhood armor major. For those of you who want to add comments to things I may have left out or just more information, please do it in the comment section below. But it's just me trying to help out and pass along tips that I learned during this journey, during the retirement process. And I have so much more to talk about later on with regards to this thing. So the next episode, we'll talk about the pre-retirement service brief. Until next time. Boom! Retire. Till the next episode, have a great day.